Hello friends, welcome back to SSB Crack Exams. In our previous video, we have discussed about general medicals that act as screening for medical examination. Today we will discuss about surgical medicals where we will get thorough information on factors that can make you fit or unfit for defense services. Surgical medicals are in-depth analysis of each and every part of your body. So let us begin with cardiovascular system, which is your heart. History of chest pain, breathlessness, palpitation, fainting attacks, giddiness, rheumatic fever, chorea, frequent sore throats and tonsillitis will be given due consideration in assessment of cardiovascular system. So if you have any of these problems, you will be further analyzed before giving any decision of being fit or unfit for the services. Evidence of organic cardiovascular disease will be cause for rejection. Diastolic murmurs are invariably organic. So if there is any evidence of organic cardiovascular disease, then you are unfit, and diastolic murmurs are invariably organic. That means if there is murmur in your heartbeat, then it is put up for rejection. Now let us understand ECG. See, ECG or electrocardiogram is an assessment of wave patterns, the amplitude, duration and time relationship. So in ECG, your heartbeat is studied and the patterns are observed. At initial entry, no abnormalities are acceptable except incomplete RBBB in absence of structural heart disease, which must be excluded. So, if during ECG you are found to have incomplete RBBB, then you might be considered fit. But this should not be associated with any heart disease. Opinion of senior medical advisor or cardiologist is obtained. So, in ECG, if you are reported to have RBBB, then further tests are taken to verify that you do not have any other heart ailment, and then the final decision is taken. Now let us have a look at respiratory system. Respiratory system is our breathing system. All treated cases of pulmonary tuberculosis with no significant residual abnormality can be accepted if the diagnosis and treatment was completed more than 1 year earlier. So, if you were a TB patient and your medication is completed 1 year before, then only you will be given fit, otherwise you will not be eligible. History of repeated attacks of cough, wheezing, bronchitis may be manifestations of chronic bronchitis or other chronic pathology of respiratory tract. So if you have any issue with your respiratory tract, then that can cause a problem. Such cases will be assessed unfit. So if you have any issue related to your respiratory tract like wheezing, bronchitis, then you are again considered unfit, provided you prove yourself fit in PEFT. Now let us have a look at gastrointestinal system. Gastrointestinal system begins from our mouth to our stomach till the anus. So, let us first consider the mouth or the dental part. Candidates must have 14 dental points and the following teeth must be present in upper jaw in good functional opposition with the corresponding teeth in the lower jaw, and these must be sound or repairable. So, if you have 4 teeth up, then you should have the corresponding teeth down as well. This is what the statement means. So you should have any 4 of the 6 anteriors. So the anteriors are the front teeth. any 6 of the 10 posteriors. So out of the 10 back teeth that we have, you should have at least 6 of them. They should be balancing on both sides. Unilateral mastication is not allowed. So if your teeth are not in balance, or they are not parallelly aligned, or they are not upon each other, the natural alignment is missing, then it is not considered. Any removable or wired prosthesis is not permitted. So if you do not gain 14 dental points, then you are dentally unfit. Therefore, take good care of your teeth. Candidate with dental arches affected by advanced stage of generalized active lesions of pyria, acute gingivitis, and gross abnormality of the teeth or jaws with numerous caries or septic teeth will be rejected. So as a whole, if your teeth are not healthy, they have any disease, or if your teeth are missing, then that can lead to being rejected dentally. Now let us have a look at the next part of our gastrointestinal system. Candidates who are suffering or have suffered during the previous 2 years from symptoms of suggestive chronic indigestion, including proven peptic ulceration, are not to be acceptable. So people who have suffered ulcers in their stomach or any of these regions are unfit. Candidates suffering from viral hepatitis or any other form of jaundice will be rejected. So jaundice is also a cause of rejection. Such candidates can be declared fit after a minimum period of 6 months has elapsed, provided there is full clinical recovery. So jaundice is a disease which affects your stomach, your liver. So that is a part of your gastrointestinal system. So in case you did suffer with jaundice, then the healing period is 6 months, and you have to ensure that you have recovered fully. Then only you can be considered fit. Candidates who have undergone splenectomy are unfit. So if spleen is excised out of your body, then you are unfit, irrespective of the cause of operation. So whatever would have been the reason for removal of spleen, you are unfit. A candidate with a well-healed hernia scar after successful surgery will be considered fit after 6 months of surgery. So if you had any surgery for hernia, you will be considered fit only after 6 months. So the healing period is 6 months, provided there is no potential for any recurrence and the abdominal wall musculature is good. So your scar should be fully healed and there is no recurrence of the problem. Now let us have a look at urogenital system, that is related to your urinary system. So post urine examination, if any of these conditions are found, then you might be rejected. So conditions like proteinuria, renal glucoseuria. When the candidate has history or evidence of urine infection, it will entail full renal investigation. Persistent evidence of urinary infection will entail rejection. So if you are suffering from any of these things or UTI, then you are unfit. Candidates with history of hematuria will be subjected to full renal investigation. So if you have had UTI or hematuria, then again you will have to undergo the complete investigation and then you might be considered. Candidates having nephritis are also rejected. Candidates with renal calculi will be rejected. So if you have renal calculi, that means if your kidney has any growth of any calculus, then you are rejected. HIV, STD will entail rejection. So if you have HIV or STD, you are rejected for sure. All candidates found to have congenital absence of one kidney or who have undergone unilateral nephrectomy will be rejected. So, if you have one kidney by birth and the other is missing, then you are up for rejection, or for some reason one of your kidney is removed, then also you are rejected. Presence of horseshoe kidney will entail rejection. So if your kidney is not well shaped, then also you are rejected. Solitary functioning kidney with diseased non-functional collateral kidney will entail rejection. So if you have one kidney and other kidney is diseased, then also you are unfit. Bilateral undescended testis, atrophied testis, will be a cause for rejection. So, if there is any issue with your testis, then also you are up for rejection. Dermatological system. Candidates with significant palmoplantar hyperhidrosis will be considered unfit. So, this is a condition where you sweat a lot in your palms. Then you are considered unfit. Moderate to severe degree of acne or involving the back will be considered unfit. So, if you have acne or pimples which are of moderate to severe degree all over your body, that is from your face to your back, then you might be considered unfit. Ichthyosis vulgaris involving the upper and lower limbs with evident dry, scaly, fissured skin will be considered unfit. So what happens in your palm and under your feet? You would have dry, scaly, fissured skin and you will have itchiness all the time. So that is again unfit. Candidates having any keloid will be considered unfit. So keloid is some kind of growth on your body. Say it could be on any part of your body, and this is considered unfit. Clinically evident onychomycosis of finger and toenails should be declared unfit. So this is a condition when your fingernail will be manifested by some fungal infection, or they might change their shape. So such conditions are unfit. Psoriasis is a skin condition known to relapse or recur and hence will be considered unfit. So if you had psoriasis, then also you are unfit. Candidates suffering from minor degree of leukoderma affecting the covered parts may be accepted. Those having extensive degree of skin involvement, and especially when exposed parts are affected even to a minor degree, then it will not be accepted. So if you have leukoderma in the parts which are covered, then it might be accepted, but if it is in the exposed part of your bodies, then it will not be accepted. Individuals who have chronic or frequently recurring attacks of a skin disease of a serious or incapacitating nature, example eczema, will be assessed permanently unfit and rejected. So eczema kind of conditions are also up for permanent rejection. Any sign of leprosy will be cause of rejection. Intertrigo may be considered fit on recovery. Intertrigo is a kind of rash on your skin where your skin folds. So it is considered fit if you have recovered. Any sexually transmitted disease including genital ulcers will be considered unfit, and scabies may be considered fit only on recovery. So if you have recovered from scabies, then you might be considered fit. Now let us have a look at endocrinology system. Generally, any history of suggestive endocrine disorders will be a cause for rejection. So endocrine system is system of your glands which is related to your hormones. Any disorder pertaining to your endocrine glands or endocrine system is up for rejection. All cases of thyroid swelling having abnormal iodine uptake and abnormal thyroid hormone levels will be rejected. So if you are a patient of thyroid, then you will be rejected. Cases of simple goiter with minimal thyroid swelling may be accepted. So if you have goiter with minimum thyroid swelling, then you can be accepted. Candidates detected to have diabetes mellitus are rejected. So wherever I am mentioning as rejected, it is a permanent rejection. Musculoskeletal system. So this is the system of your muscles and bones. History of spinal fracture, prolapsed intervertebral disc and surgical treatment of these conditions will entail rejection. So if you suffered a spinal fracture, you are unfit. If you have prolapsed intervertebral disc, you are unfit. And if you have undergone surgical treatment, that is, if you have undergone a surgery of your spine or your vertebra, then again you are rejected permanently. Mild kyphosis or lordosis, where deformity is barely noticeable and not associated with pain or restriction of movement, may be accepted. So there is a possibility that there is some natural bend in your spine, maybe towards the end or here, then, and you do not have any problem with it, you do not have a pain or restriction of any of your movement, then you might be considered fit. For flying duties, radiograph of cervical, thoracic and lumbosacral spine will be carried out. So if you are up for flying branch, then your proper x-rays will be taken of each and every part of your spine. The following conditions detected radiologically will be disqualifying a candidate. Granulomatous disease of spine. So this is a disease of spine. So if it is found in your spine, then you are unfit. Arthritis or spondylitis is up for rejection. Rheumatoid arthritis and allied disorders, spondylitis, osteoarthritis, spondylitis and degenerative joint disease, non-articular rheumatism. So if you have any of these conditions pertaining to your joints or your spine, then you are rejected. Loss of any digit of toes entails rejection. So you are supposed to have 10 toes. If any of them is missing, then you are rejected. Extra digits will entail rejection if there is bony continuity with adjacent digits. So in your feet you are supposed to have 5 toes. So by chance you have 6 and the bone is connected here, then you are rejected. Feet may look apparent flat. Rejection of movements of foot will also be a cause of rejection. So if you have a flat foot, then also you are rejected. Rigidity of foot, whatever may be the shape of foot, is a cause of rejection. So if you are not able to bend your feet, then you are rejected. All cases of talipes, that is club foot, will be rejected. So if your toes are not separated properly. Any significant limitation of movement of ankle joints following previous injuries will not be accepted, because if your ankles and feet and your toes are not healthy, you will not be able to run. So this is the major part of your training and requirement in defense services. So if you have any issue with your feet, then you are rejected. Any ligamentous laxity is not acceptable. Is reconstruction surgery is to be considered unfit. If the distance between the internal malleoli is less than 5 cm without any other deformity, the candidate will be considered fit for knee knock. So between, see, you have 2 feet. So between your 2 feet, the distance here has to be 5 cm. If it is less than 5 cm, then you might be rejected on the basis of knee knock. If the distance between the femoral condyles is within 10 cm, the candidate will be considered fit for bow legs. So this kind of curvature of your legs is considered as bow legs. So this distance should be less than 10 centimeters. If it is more than 10 centimeters, then it is considered bow legs and then you are unfit. If hyperextension of the knee is within 10 degrees and is unaccompanied by any other deformity, they considered there is a shape of your leg like this. This is your knee, and then your angle. This angle is also considered. So if the angle is more than the standard or the acceptable angle, then you are unfit. True lesions of hip joint will entail rejection. So if there are any issues with your hip joints, then you are unfit. Now let us see the central nervous system. History of insomnia, nightmares or frequent sleeping walk or bedwetting when recurrent or persistent will be a cause of rejection. So if you are insomniac, that is you do not sleep properly, you have nightmares, or you are sleepwalking, or you are bedwetting, that you are still pissing in your bed, then you are unfit for defense services. A candidate with migraine which was severe enough to make him consult a doctor will be cause of. A history of epilepsy in a candidate is a cause of rejection. So if you have history of epilepsy, then you are rejected. History of severe head injury or concussion is a cause of rejection. So any head injury is a cause of rejection. Psychological instability in the personal history or present condition will entail rejection. So if you are psychologically imbalanced, also you are rejected permanently. Now let us have a look at ENT system, that is ear, nose and throats. Nose and paranasal sinuses. So if you have sinus of any form that obstructs breathing, obstruction to free breathing as a result of a marked septal deviation is a cause of rejection. So if your nose is not straight, if it is bent, then you are rejected. Post correction surgery will be with residual mild deviation with adequate airway will be acceptable. So if you have got a surgery done here, then you might be acceptable. Any septal perforation will entail rejection. Atrophic rhinitis will entail rejection. So you might have seen some people who have cold all the time. So that is serious in nature and that is up for rejection. Cases of allergic rhinitis will entail rejection for flying duties. So if you have rhinitis, that is there are conditions where people are allergic to certain things and then they start sneezing or get cold. Then you can be fit but unfit for flying duties. Any infection of paranasal sinuses will be declared unfit. So if you have sinus any infection here, then you are unfit. Multiple polyposis will be cause of rejection. So polyps are small little growths. So if you have polyps in your nose, then again you are rejected permanently. Oral cavity and throat. So this is about your throat. Candidates where tonsillectomy is indicated will be rejected. So if you have got the operation done for your tonsils removal, then you are rejected. Such candidates will be accepted after successful surgery during appeal medical board. If you had tonsillitis, that is problem with your tonsils, then you can be acceptable or you can be given fit only after the surgery and that will be proven by the appeal medical board. The presence of a cleft palate will be cause of rejection. So palate is your upper region of mouth. So cleft in your palate is up for rejection. Any disabling condition of pharynx or larynx, including persistent hoarseness of voice, will entail rejection. So larynx and pharynx are your food and windpipes. So if there is hoarseness of voice or any problem with these tubes, then also you are up for permanent rejection. Persistent tinnitus is cause for rejection. It is liable to become worse through exposure to noise, may be precursor to osteosclerosis and Meniere's disease. If there is any problem in your ear, that is up for rejection. Hearing loss. Free field hearing loss is a cause of rejection. So if you cannot hear properly, you are rejected. Audiometric loss should not be greater than 20 dB. You undergo audiometry, and if the loss is more than 20 decibels, then you are up for rejection. So whenever you are going for your medicals, you should ensure that you get your ears cleaned for any presence of wax or infection. Ophthalmic system, that is your eyes. Candidates with uncontrollable blepharitis, particularly with loss of eyelashes, are generally unsuitable and will be rejected. You lose your eyelashes, then you are up for rejection. Nasolacrimal occlusion producing a epiphora or a mucocele entails rejection unless surgery produces relief lasting for a minimum of 6 months. So this is a condition where your eyes will produce lot of tears all the time. For that you have to undergo a surgery, and the recovery period is 6 months. Corneal scars, opacities will be cause of rejection unless it does not interfere with your vision. So cornea, that is corner of your eye here. So if there are any scars, that then also you can be considered unfit, provided your vision is clear. The following criteria must be satisfied prior to selecting post PRK LASIK candidates. So if there is a candidate who has undergone a LASIK surgery, then these are the criteria. PRK or LASIK surgery should not have been carried out before the age of 20. So only after the age of 20, if you have undergone LASIK surgery, you are acceptable in service. The axial length of eye should not be more than 25.5 mm as measured by IOL Master, that is a measuring device. At least 12 months should have elapsed post uncomplicated stable LASIK with no history of complication. So if you have undergone LASIK surgery after 20 years of your age, then the recovery period is 12 months. So post LASIK, the corneal thickness should not be less than 450 microns. Individuals with high refractive errors prior to LASIK are to be excluded. So if the refractive error of the eye is more than 6, then again you are excluded, that is you are unfit. Now let us have a look at hemopoietic system, that is all about blood in your body. All candidates will be examined for clinical evidence of pallor, that is anemia, and malnutrition. Candidates with microcytic megaloblastic anemia will be considered unfit. So if your anemia falls in any of these categories, then you are unfit. All candidates with evidence of hereditary hemolytic anemias will be considered unfit for service. Candidates with history of hemophilia, non-Willebrand's disease will be declared unfit for service at the entry level itself. So these are some of the aspects pertaining to your blood and hemoglobin which can make you unfit in service. So this is it with today's session on surgical medical eligibility for NDA. I recommend you to download our app and subscribe to our NDA course for all exam related course material, quizzes, study material, practice tests and much more. Take care of yourself, keep your motivation high and stay inspired. Jai Hind.